Hey, what's going on everyone? It looks like Warner Brothers Animation is bringing the Thundercats back once again in a brand new show called Thundercats Roar, which was debuted exclusively by Entertainment Weekly today, and it's going to hit Cartoon Network in 2019. Now, the one thing that you can take off face value just looking at the artwork that they've displayed thus far is that the show will be radically different than the previous two series. The original Thundercats aired from 1985 to 1989 and followed the adventures of Lion-O, Cheetara, Panthro, Tigra, Snarf, Willikit, and Willy Cat, the refugees of the planet Thundera who end up on Third Earth. The new show is said to be true to the original premise of the series, featuring tons of action, but it's also going to lean on the inherent comedy aspects of the world. Producer Victor Courtwright sat down with EW for an exclusive interview in which he said of the show, quote, "I think the world that they built lends itself really well to comedy because of how silly and crazy and outlandish those ideas are, and some of those settings are. But at the same time, it wouldn't be Thundercats if it didn't have super cool action elements to it, because that's what people came back to. It's very much something that we want to lean on. So with the new show, we're not walking away from the action any bit. Every step we take towards comedy, we take two more towards really cool action scenes and explosions and lasers and action effects." The official synopsis for the Thundercats 2019 series is, staying true to the premise of the original series, Lion-O and the Thundercats, Tigra, Panthro, Cheetara, Willy Cat, and Willy Kit barely escape the sudden destruction of their homeworld, Thundera, only to crash land on the mysterious and exotic planet of Third Earth. Lion-O, the newly appointed Lord of the Thundercats, attempts to lead the team as they make this planet their new home. A bizarre host of creatures and villains stand in their way, including the evil Mumra, Third Earth's wicked ruler who will let nothing, including the Thundercats, stop his tyrannical reign over the planet. So honestly, the show seems very different than what we come to expect of really the Thundercats in general. You guys remember, for fans of the show, they did a 2011 reboot that only lasted one season. It was quite different than the original show because the original show came out kind of at a time where cartoons were more commonplace. They were much more sort of over the top. You know, you had He-Man and the Masters of the Universe at the time, G.I. Joe, Transformers, things like that. It was really the height of the 80s, and Thundercats are one of those iconic series from that time, and the 2011 show kind of took it in this more darker approach to it, I guess more subdued, not as over the top and cartoony, but I still personally really love the 80s show, but this one just seems so different. Like, they're trying to go for that whole Teen Titans Go audience and making just a flat out comedy. I mean, I'm not really the biggest fan of the animation style for this new series as well, because they're going for that whole modern type animation, which I think just looks kind of lazy. I mean, it moves fine, but just I'm not really the biggest fan of it. This new show just looks like it's just gonna be very hard for fans of the franchise to get behind. I mean, obviously they're aiming it at a kid-friendly audience, which makes sense, but when you have to think of Thundercats, you have to come to expect that there's a built-in audience of people that really love the original series and want to kind of see something at least vaguely similar to that, resembling that again. But drop your thoughts down in the comments below. What do you guys think of the new Thundercats Roar animated series, which is set to debut on Cartoon Network in 2019? Drop your thoughts down in the usual spot, and for the latest updates on Thundercats Roar and everything entertainment, be sure to subscribe to Hybrid Network. Thank you guys again for checking this video out. If you want to get even more updates from us, check out our social media platforms, our website for news and editorials, and if you want to see our content improve and help us out, donate to us on our Patreon and you can get exclusive rewards.